Hey y'all, I'm Abby. Welcome to my channel, Abby's Retro Rescue, where I rescue vintage items and give them a new life. I've heard there's a trend to make decorate with me fall videos. These are mostly on TikTok, and I'm not on TikTok, and I'm also not one to follow trends. But I do want to show you how I mix my vintage items with a few new things to give my house a fall look. So I follow a channel called Kiki Chanel, and it's very different from my channel. She talks a lot about overconsumption and also about influencer trends. And one of the recent ones she discussed was Halloween overconsumption. How many of these influencers are going out to places like TJ Maxx and Marshalls or maybe Target or something and buying just loads of new decor, and it's mostly cheaply made and hard to store. After bringing home all the stuff, they lay it out, crack open an Alani witch's brew, and then they get to decorating. But it's just so much. And her point of the video was, we need to be careful about overconsumption.
Really shocking. This is like a lot of the content that you see these days.
It's fall time, y'all. Cheers!
Instead of following that trend, I'm going to show you how I blend my vintage items with a few new things to decorate my home for the season. But first, let's crack open our Alani Witch's Brew. I did say I'm not one for following trends, and I'm not, but I got my hands on one of these, and honestly, I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. Okay, it's pretty good. It's way too sweet for me, but it tastes like caramel apples and it's got a cute can, and I can see why the younger girls enjoy these. I'll just stick with my coffee. Okay, let's get started. So you can see I don't store a ridiculous amount of holiday things. I only have 3 Halloween/fall bins. I like to blend them with the colors from the season, and the main event is always my Pyrex collection. So you can see what I have going on right now. This is sort of my generic summertime decor, and underneath here I store the previous season. So here we have the springtime, and it's mostly just this pretty jadeite green with a few little knickknacks that I add in. So my first tip would be blend things that aren't necessarily just used for seasonal decor. I definitely would encourage you to think outside the box. Seasonal decor doesn't have to be things that were made just for seasonal decor. Put out your favorite things and then add some pieces that make it come together either by color or by theme. Be creative. Don't just grab a bunch of random crap from the store and put it on your shelves and call it done. I like to collect things throughout the year and then figure out creative ways to display them. But first things first, I'm gonna have to empty the shelves. I just left them up there so you guys could see what we had going on. I'm gonna take all this stuff down and then we'll get out the Halloween stuff. Now that we have a blank slate, we want to start with our favorite things. Now for me, the star of the show is usually my Pyrex. I'm a big time Pyrex collector, although it's been a while since I've made a video about that. It's been a long time actually. I'll try to remember to make another video soon of my Pyrex collection if that's something you guys want to see. I cannot tell you how excited I am to display these babies because they are the rarest set in my collection. This is a set of 4, you guys. So we have these like that, and they're fun to stack. So this is what I refer to as playing with Pyrex. I'll put the Pyrex out and then I'll decorate around it with other things. Throughout the year, I buy new vintage things at estate sales, like this adorable Hallmark pumpkin that I got a few months ago in a recent haul. I knew they made the reindeer, but the pumpkin was new to me. He's totally adorable. And his bright orange color looks really pretty with the bright orange Pyrex. By the way, this is the only set they made in this color. So he could sit here, or maybe we could figure out a way to have him popping out of the top. Wouldn't that be cute? I'll get something to put underneath here and see if we can make that work. That is adorable. Okay, I found this little custard cup. I think that'll be the right height. I'm gonna flip it upside down, set it on top of there, and so cute. Now we'll open the bins, and it's kind of like a present to myself because I don't remember what all I have in there from year to year. And sometimes I add new things at the end of the season. So let's open these bins and see what we have. Okay, so this one has some pillows. Not vintage, but they're really cute. They'll go on the sofa. Another item I like to get are handmade things. And I bought these years ago from a craft fair. A lady was making them where she took like tea towels and then she dyed them and painted them. And I have had this little bean butt guy forever. It's kind of weighted down at the bottom with beans. I don't even know where I got this, but his little legs hang down and I love his face. He looks vintage. He's actually not super vintage, but I've had him for a long time and I totally love him. Another candy corn. And then a lot of the rest of these items are just like soft pumpkins. And I really like buying these sort of soft decoration. I went through a phase where I was into these. I think this one might have also been handmade. A lot of things I also got years ago at craft fairs. It doesn't get any better than handmade or vintage. And the second shelf, I'm gonna mostly put the candy corns and I'm gonna put yellow and orange colors. I'm going to be using these Pyrex bowls. I had the set of 3 before, you remember. I took away the blue one. I'm just gonna use the orange and the yellow. So my trick for helping these stay is to use an upside down cup and some museum putty. Put that down in there. Stick this one on, line up the dots so they look perfect. And there you go. And that way it's safe and they're not gonna accidentally get tipped over. So we're gonna put these up here for now. Mr. Candy Corn is gonna go here next to that bowl. And this one, I think this guy might be vintage. It's like the old paper mache style. These funny pumpkins with the teeth showing are my absolute favorite. That is so cute. And this one is not vintage, but I've had it for several years, probably at least 10. I only buy new things if I really love them. This is another sort of bean butt situation. It's super cute. Boo. Okay, I did buy this last year because it was an 80s reference and I liked the saying on there. Ghouls just want to have fun. This is a classic decoration that I have had since my childhood in the 80s. It plugs in and lights up. I got it when I was a little girl, so it's definitely at least 40 years old. So how fun is that? And it's still going strong. I remember I even had this in my college dorm. Talk about nostalgia overload. My great grandmother painted ceramics, and this was one of the pieces that she made. It can have a little tea light if you want. Let's see, sometimes she dated them. Yeah, this one's dated. It's hard to see. It says Nana. I called her Nana. Nana 79, you guys. She made this for me when I was a little girl, and I totally treasure it. Next bin we have, oh my goodness. Okay, this is my headpiece for Day of the Dead. I've been looking for this. I had put it in here for next year. My family started a tradition of attending the Day of the Dead every year in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It is awesome. And I have another little table in my living room where I'm doing a Day of the Dead display. I'll show you that. Last year in Santa Fe, I bought this gorgeous handmade pepper wreath at the local farmer's market. And although the peppers change colors as they dry, it can last for years, and I love it. The festive garland and glass candle holders are from World Market, and I was so excited to find the sugar skull and Day of the Dead candles at the Dollar Tree. These Talavera ceramic jack-o'-lanterns are handmade from Mexico. I added some tea lights from Amazon, which are on timers so they can come on automatically at night to give a spooky glow. Bin number 3. Okay, a hodgepodge of things. Oh, some of these are actually seasonal toys that my dog Jesse plays with, so we'll have to give him that. He'll want his Woodstock pumpkin. This is his too, you guys. He loves these puzzle toys where the little things come out. Look at this. It's fun for dogs to try to dig out the little toys. And then, oh my gosh, he's had this for a few years. His grandpa gives him, my dad gives him fun toys. Oh, there he is now. Jesse, I found your Halloween toys, buddy. You ready? There's a lot of things in here, but I wanted to show you guys. This is a handmade item that I made on one of my more popular videos. This is my miniature haunted mansion. It lights up. Several years ago, I participated in something called the Goodwill Challenge, where you buy something from the Goodwill and you basically upcycle it. And this is what I had made. So if you want to watch that video, I will link it. It is a fun one. Okay, this is actually our table runner. It's a shimmery spider web. I have had this for probably 15 years at least. I can't remember where I got it. I like to save these pieces and use them over and over because you're barely using it. And so it stayed really nice. I also have this super cute skull candy dish set, and these are from Hallmark. They're not super old, but I have had them for a number of years. And you can see it has the old school Hallmark logo on the bottom. And I'm gonna use that same trick that I did with the Pyrex, put the cup inside with the museum putty that's sticky on there. So now they have a similar look to the stacked Pyrex. I have a few more finishing touches that are vintage, and I want to show you something cool I got in an estate sale just last week. It hasn't made it to my estate sale haul videos yet, but we went to this one estate sale, and y'all, they were trying to get rid of everything, and it was the last day of the sale, so they were just giving it away for free, whatever you could take. So of course I grabbed all kinds of goodies, random stuff out of the basement, but I was really intrigued by this bag because look at it. It is an amazing vintage Hallmark bag. It says Gibson's Card and Gift, and it has an address at Great Bend, Kansas. Of course, I went down a rabbit hole and looked up where the shop was. It was in the old downtown, very cute. It's not there anymore, obviously. The building looks empty, but it looks like the downtown is well maintained and they could open another business there. It has a little thing on the back about Hallmark cards. I love vintage Hallmark. So I was so excited to find this, and inside were a bunch of fall decorations. So I am hosting Thanksgiving at my house this year. So I'll bust this out. It's the whole set with the little pilgrims. I love these vintage honeycomb little table centerpieces. It's so, so cute. And if y'all didn't know, Hallmark is actually started and headquartered in Kansas City. So real small here, it says Kansas City, Missouri. I don't see a date on this. If I had to guess, I would say it's straight out of the 70s. There were other fall decorations, mostly Thanksgiving, which I will get out at Thanksgiving time. Here's one we can use now. A pumpkin. Aren't these fun? They totally remind me of like school back in the 70s and 80s, my teachers would have these honeycomb decorations, and for some reason, I've just always loved them. And it's so vintage, you guys. I think we're done. Well, that was super fun, and I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my fall decor. It changes up a bit every year, but I don't go out and buy tons of new stuff. I recommend finding new ways to use the things that you already have, or finding vintage things and recycling them, or crafting things that you made from scratch, or finding some other artisan that makes something special for you. Don't just go out and buy a bunch of junk that's gonna end up in a landfill or at Goodwill in a couple of years when you get tired of it. You can have a lot of fun finding new ways to use old things. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you might also like to see how I decorated my basement using vintage McDonald's boo buckets. So if you're into those, check out this video. I'll put it right here, and we will see you in the next one.